Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. A lot of negativity, a lot of hate floating around the internet yesterday. Greg McElroy has to open his mouth and let the trash come out. You guys asking me, Boogie, why are we always hated on? Why are we always doubted? Is it a conspiracy theory? Is one day they're going to be an ESPN 30 for 30? I mean, we got screwed on the Heisman Trophy. Not only Peyton Manning. Go back and look at history. Go back and look at Johnny Majors. I think that may have been more of a screw job. Here lately, everybody talking about 5 stars and 4 stars. Why is it? Jordan Ross commits to Tennessee. He goes from a 5-star to a 4-star. Mike Matthews goes from a 5-star to a 4-star after being announced the MVP of the Polynesian Bowl. The kid is a stud. He's a baller. He's a gamer, but he's committed to Tennessee, so we're going to make him a 4-star. Most recently, George McIntyre. Why does everybody hate and doubt Tennessee? I've talked a lot about it the last week or so. Is 2024 the year of the Vols? The momentum that George McIntyre is creating on the recruiting trail. You're talking about some big-time prospects. Number 1 offensive tackle in the country. David Sanders likes him some George McIntyre. Cam Sparks, Marcus Harris, Jamie French. The list goes on and on. Everybody wants to come play with George, but I think the pressure is on in 2024 because of the Nico effect. Nico is Josh Heupel's guy. He pushed all the chips in. Everybody's talking Arch Manning. Josh Heupel says, nope, Nico's our guy. He goes out and gets his guy, and now it is time for the Nico era. Is 2024 the year of the Vols? I think Josh Heupel, I think his back's almost against the wall. I think now is the time. It's now or never. You go find success on the football field in 2024. You go get a top 5 class in the class of 25, and let's roll. The Vols are back. But what's it going to take? Is it college football playoff or bust? We're going to take a listen to what Greg McElroy had to say about the Vols and their chances at making the 12-team playoff, and then we're going to follow that up with a little clip from Josh Pate over at 247 Sports. Before we do that, do me a favor, smash that thumbs up just below this video. It's quick, it's free, it's also easy. It helps this channel. I would appreciate it. If you're new to the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts here. We're not insiders. We're not media. We don't pretend to be any of that. This channel is for the fans, by the fans. If you like what we do, make sure you subscribe. Click that bell for notifications. You're not going to miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. Tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. That's our biggest live stream of the year. Tonight, we give back 25,000 subscribers. There are strength in numbers. We're going to be joined by VolQuest. We're going to be joined by the Swain event, Go Vols 247, A to Z Sports, Pancakes and Bacon. Everybody's coming together. Sports Talk J will be in the house. Everybody from the Talkin VAWLS Network is going to be on hand. We're going to be talking about Tennessee football. But every donation that comes through on tonight's stream will go directly to the Fisher House Foundation. They are like a Ronald McDonald House for our men and women that served in our military. It's a charity that's very special to me. It's special to a lot of you guys in the chat. So be here tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Share the tweets out. I'm going to be promoting it all day. Let somebody know everybody's coming together tonight for that good cause for the Fisher House Foundation. But let's get into it. Let's talk about Greg McElroy and what he thinks Tennessee's odds are at making the college football playoff here. Let's take a listen.
Alabama and Georgia, I don't think they can. But every other game on their schedule, I think, is very winnable.
Oh, hold on a second. Hold on a second here, Greg McElroy. You don't think they can beat Alabama. You don't think they can beat Georgia. But every other game on their schedule is winnable. You got to go on the road and play Oklahoma. For me, that's the turning point for the season. You get out of September at 4-0. I think Tennessee has a very realistic shot at making the college football playoff. So McElroy just said it himself. Every game on the schedule is winnable. Doesn't think they can beat Georgia. Doesn't think they can beat Alabama. I'm going to disagree with him on that one. I think Tennessee has a very realistic shot at beating Alabama. We'll see what the rosters look like once we get through the spring. Obviously, the mass exodus of talent over there at Alabama, but if you go look at the college football rankings from last year, I think 10-2. I think if you go 10-2 in the SEC, I think you're going to have a shot at making it into that college football playoff. Now, let's hear more. He says every game's winnable other than Georgia and Alabama, and he thinks that puts Tennessee at 15% odds to get into the playoff. I don't know that I understand what Greg McElroy is trying to say here, but let's hear more.
Mississippi State at their place, Kentucky at their place, at Oklahoma, I think they can take care of business in those games. I really believe that.
So Greg McElroy thinks what I consider to be the toughest game on the schedule, not the toughest game, but the launching point, the game, maybe the most critical. That might be the better words to use. Most critical game on the schedule at Oklahoma. Greg McElroy says that's a win for the Vols. Let's hear more.
Those will be the kind of hinge games that could make Tennessee's season really special if they can win some of those games that are toss-ups. I think right now 8-4 is probably most likely. I think
Excuse me, sir? Excuse me, sir? I'm going to rewind that just to make sure I heard him correctly.
I think right now 8-4 is probably most likely.
What? What? Let's hear it again.
I think right now 8-4 is probably most likely. I think 9-3 is well within reach. But at 8-4, I think the percentage chance that they make the 12-team playoffs at about 15%. They get to 9-3, I would say that increases things significantly. But I'm kind of leaning a little bit more towards 8-4 and a little less towards 9-3 at the moment. Granted, a lot of movement still going on with Tennessee, but I'm going to put their chances of making the playoff at 15% right now. And we'll finish.
What? 8-4. 8-4. How you guys feeling if Josh Heupel goes 8-4 in year 4? How you guys feeling if we go 8-4 when Nico takes over at the quarterback position? You look at what Josh Heupel has done in the transfer portal already. You got to be excited. You look at what they did with the COVID seniors. They just confirmed officially yesterday that Javonte Spraggins is going to be coming back. You're returning your entire offensive line minus Gerald Mincey, and then you're upgrading by adding Lance Hurd. That is a huge upgrade over Gerald Mincey. I've talked about it before. You got to prove it at the college level, and I understand that, but when you look at grading and rankings on 3.com, Lance Hurd would be the second highest guy that Josh Heupel has landed since being at Tennessee, behind only Nico. That's how big of a prospect Lance Hurd was coming out of high school. That's an upgrade on the offensive line. Of course, injuries happen. You got to stay healthy. It's a physical, violent game. I get that. I understand that. But you're returning your entire offensive line. The running back room, you're losing a lot of production in Jalen Wright, but I think Dylan Sampson and Cam Seldon are up to the task. I think Dylan Sampson is a leader of this football team. I think he's ready to go to work. Your wide receivers, the only one you're losing is Ramel Keaton. Can Brazel be that guy? Can he step up? Dante Thornton, how does he come along? Does he bounce back from the injury? Do we see him show his potential on the outside versus the slot? But the key, the common factor here is Nico. It's the Nico era. It's the Nico show. We're going to find out just how good he is. I think we've seen a small little glimpse, a small little taste of just how good Nico is. What about the defense, Boogie? They're terrible. They're absolutely terrible. Are they? They had one of the best rush defenses in the country this past season. Top 25, one of the best in the SEC. What about the pass defense? Absolutely terrible in the secondary. They got to get better. I agree. They have to get better on the back end, and that's why we're seeing the mass exodus. Out with the old, in with the new. We're seeing a youth movement. We're going to have Ricky Gibson. We're going to have Jamad McCoy. How does his game translate? Got to get some help at that safety position. You've added some guys in the portal. Your pass defense was one of the worst in the country. One of the worst in the country in 2022. Guess what? 2023 bumped up to around 64th. Still not where you want to be. Some people don't want to hear it. Some people don't want to let the truth get in the way of a good story or a good narrative. But you look at what Tim Banks has done since arriving here in 2021. One of the worst scoring defenses in the country, 90th in the country, giving up 29 points a game. 2022, they bumped up to 36th in the country, giving up 22 points a game, almost 23. This past season, top 25 scoring defense, giving up 20 points a game. What if we had the 2022 offense with the 2023 defense? I think we would have done some damage. I think we would have won some ball games. I think we would have beat Florida. I think we would have beat Alabama. I think it would have been a different football team, and I think that's what we're looking at in 2024. I think we're looking at the 2022 offense, and hopefully that defense continues to take another step. What did Josh Payton have to say? Greg McElroy is saying 8-4. Absolutely ridiculous. You guys hit the comment section. Let me know your thoughts on that. What did Josh Payton have to say? Can Tennessee make the college football playoff? Let's take a listen.
Tennessee, or someone like them, is going to get in here with like 2 losses or maybe 3 losses to the right teams, and they're going to have a quarterback that hits his stride in November, and you're going to be saying, man, I know they're an 11 seed, but I got no interest in playing Tennessee. Tennessee and Miami are 2 of those teams this year because of Cam Ward and Nico, respectively. They play 3 teams with top 15 title odds. They play at Georgia this year. They play Alabama. They go to Oklahoma. That'll be fun for Josh Heupel. Yes, the answer is yes. Who in the world is saying no, Tennessee has no shot of making a 12-team playoff? It's 12 teams. Yes, they absolutely could do that. And yes, there are like 35 or 40 other teams that I'm going to answer yes to.
Greg McElroy, that's who doesn't think so. 15% chance, brings up a good point. The game's going to be different now. College football is changing. 12-team playoff. Who gets hot at the right time? I think you're going to see some mismatches in the college football playoff, but you're also going to see some good football now that it's expanding. But that's the bottom line is that's the goal. 2024 college football playoff or bust. What do you guys think? Jump into the comment section. Let's talk about it. What is the key game? What is the key game for you in 2024? I'm feeling pretty good about that Alabama game right now. I am in Neyland Stadium. I'm feeling pretty good about that Florida game. The only games I'm worried about, that Georgia game is going to be tough. And look, there's going to be some toss-ups. I'm going 10-2 right now. It's way too early prediction time, but I'm going 10-2. Give me the Vols. Give me the Vols. Give me the Vols. Jump into the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Smash a thumbs up on the way out the door. Go check out the Talkin VAWLS merchandise. You can go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. I would appreciate that support. Also, thank you to the members of the channel. You guys can hit that join button down below, and for $1, you support what we're building around here. We talk about for the fans, by the fans. It's also fan-funded. Could not do this without you guys. I am grateful. Thank you. It has been a fun ride on this way to 25,000 subscribers, and it's all because of you guys, the community, the heartbeat. You guys make this channel what it is, and I'm grateful for that. But that is going to do it for this one. Don't forget to join us tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Biggest stream of the year. Go Big Orange.